So you're getting a lot of milk from your cows, goats, or even your water buffalo, and you're thinking about owning a dairy? Are they a good investment though? Let's find out. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. How's it going, everybody? Driver53 here, and today we're going to find out if owning a dairy is a worthwhile investment. Now, one good thing about owning a dairy is that they don't take up very much room at all on your farm. You can see that the large one right here, it's very, very tiny, and the small production is even smaller still. Let's take a look at a spreadsheet here to see if you're going to have a good return on your investment. So the first two columns that you see here are the input and the peak easy input sell price. So as you can see, we've got milk, buffalo milk, goat milk, and then sugar. So you're only going to need 4 different ingredients. They're listed on here multiple times because they go into multiple different recipes. And for the peak easy input sell price, this is how much 1,000 liters of each one of these products is worth if you sell it at its peak price, the estimated peak. And what that means is you're not going to sell your products at rock bottom dollar or even average price. You're going to wait until these things are the most valuable, and then you're going to get the most amount of money that you can out of them. This right here is the estimated price for that on easy mode. If you're playing on normal mode, it's going to be 60% of the values that you see on this chart. And if you're playing on hard economy, it's going to be 33% of the values that you see on this chart. The next two columns that you see here are the input quantity per cycle and the input value per cycle. So each of these recipes have a different value of inputs that you're going to need. So let's take the first 3 right here. They're each going to take 10 liters of either milk, buffalo milk, or goat milk. And how much is that worth? Well, for regular milk, it's only $22.89. It's pretty common to have milk. It's not like a high-end thing. But as for buffalo milk, that's $114.45 for the exact same amount. 10 liters is almost 6 times as, it's almost worth 6 times as much. And then you got goat milk coming in at $92.21. So it's kind of in between, but still a higher end product. The next two columns that you see here are the output and the peak easy output sell price. So you've got all your different recipes that you're going to be able to run. As you can see, there are 10 different recipes that you're going to be able to make here in a dairy. Now this works for the large and the small. I'm going to show the small data here in a little bit, but we're going to focus on the large right now. And then you'll see that the small is just like 10% of what you can get out of a large. And the prices here range from all the way from $22.89 for 1,000 liters of milk, all the way up to $24,525 for 1,000 liters of your buffalo mozzarella. The next two columns are your output quantity per cycle and your output value per cycle. So what that means is that, let's take a look at the top 3 lines. You're going to be able to put 10 liters in of your milk, depending on if it's milk, buffalo milk, or goat milk, but you're going to get 20 liters of bottled milk out. That's a pretty good upscale. I mean, you put 10 liters in, get 20 liters out, that's going to go a long way. And the value of that is now $45.78 for 20 liters of regular milk, all the way up to $162.84 for 20 liters of your buffalo milk. You can also see that we have 3 different types of cheese. You got regular, buffalo mozzarella, and goat cheese. And for the butter, it's just one type of butter. You don't have 3 different types of butter. It's all going to be able to make into one butter. You're just using 3 different inputs. That's why the value there is $36.62, but your value of each of those is different because they're all different output quantities. The next column here is your cycles per month. And as you see, it varies greatly, all the way from 52.8 cycles a month, all the way up to 1,320. Now, it kind of depends on what it is, how rare of an item, on how many cycles you're actually going to be able to get out of this. And how much does it cost to run each of these recipes? You could see that it's anywhere from $24 all the way up to $192. Now, it seems like the 192s are the things that you're going to have to use buffalo milk for. And then your goat stuff is around 96. And then your regular milk is going to be 24. The next column that you see here is your output value per month. This is how much revenue you're going to be able to generate if you have a full facility and you're running each one of these recipes for a single month. This is how much you're going to get. And you can see that it's all the way from $85.09 for butter that you're using buffalo milk to make, or all the way up to $33,053 for goat cheese. I love myself some goat cheese, but I don't know if it's worth that much. Now, the next column here shows you the input value per month. And what that means is that you take your input quantity, you multiply that by the number of cycles per month, and this is how much that would be worth if you didn't actually run it through this facility. So you could see that, say you wanted to take buffalo milk and turn it into butter. Well, the amount that you need to do that is only valued at about $1,813. And why am I showing you these values? Well, it's to be able to show you this next column right here. This is the additional revenue per month by using the production. And this column was calculated by taking the output value per month and then subtracting what that was worth. So if you used, let's say, milk and you wanted to bottle it up, well, you're going to make $21,950 if you keep it running for the entire month. But if you just take that regular milk and you sell it the same amount that you would put into this production, you're only going to make about $10,987. That's a difference of $10,963. And you can see that that is the one that creates the most amount of additional revenue for you. All the rest of them are roughly between 6,300 up to about 6,900. Now, that's not really that bad amount of additional revenue that you're going to be able to make every single month. I mean, if you want to build one of these facilities, it's going to cost you $210,000 for one of these large ones to put on your farm. Or if you want to buy the one that's already on the map, it's the same price, $210,000. And how long is it going to take you to pay that back? Well, you can see that it's anywhere from 6.4 months if you're running goat cheese, all the way up to 24.7 if you're making butter out of buffalo milk. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to run multiple of these recipes to be able to like shorten that time down. You're only going to be able to have one running at full production every single month because this is a divided production facility. And what that means that if you have, let's say, your bottled milk again, you run that and you're going to be able to make a full month's worth of production at full production. All right. So it's going to be roughly about 9,600 liters that you're going to be able to get out of this facility every single month. Now, let's say that you want to turn on buffalo milk. You got some buffalo and you've got milk in there too. Well, whenever you turn that on, your regular milk, the production on that is going to get turned into half, and your buffalo milk is only going to run at half production as well. So now instead of 9,600, now you're talking about 4,800 liters is all you're going to be able to get out of bottled milk. And then for your buffalo milk, you're only going to get maybe about 1,500 liters. So you've decided you want to go ahead and put a dairy on your farm or buy the one that's on the map. Well, how much product are you going to need to be able to keep this thing running for an entire month? Well, that's this column right here. And as you can see, that everything from 158 liters from butter out of buffalo milk all the way up to 7,200 liters for your butter that you're making out of just regular milk. And if you only have one recipe turned on at a time, how much can you expect to get on the output side of this? Well, you can see that it's anywhere from 960 liters on your buffalo mozzarella all the way up to 9,600 liters of your bottled milk. So a dairy isn't really that bad for your return on investment. I mean, for the most part, you can expect to be somewhere around 9, maybe 12 months, kind of depending on what different things you're going to be running in here. And if you get one of the small ones, well, it's going to be a little bit longer of a payback, but it's kind of expected because it's a smaller facility that you're able to put on your farm. Now, it's only going to cost you $36,000 to put it down on your farm. There's not one available on the map that you're going to be able to buy. But your return on this is very, very little. I mean, every month you can only expect to maybe make $500 to $600 unless you're running just bottled milk, and then it's almost $1,100. And like I said earlier, these smaller facilities are only running at 10% of what you're able to get out of a large one. But if you don't have a whole lot coming in, then maybe this is a good one just to kind of get you started. My personal opinion is I think that owning a dairy is actually a really good investment to have on your farm, because it's not going to take a whole lot of product to be able to turn that profit back around and pretty much double up what you're able to make on your milk. I mean, if you only run it for that in and of itself, that's going to be a really, really good return on investment here for this facility. Well, that's going to be it for today, everybody. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like if you would. Make sure to hit subscribe and turn on your notifications to keep up to date on my future videos. While you're waiting on those future videos, go and check out one of these two right here. Have a great day, night, evening, everybody. Until next time, this is Driver53 signing off.